Welcome back to Sampstra Games, the place to find new strategy games, and today we're going to play Aetheris. This is a roguelike turn-based combat game and it's a really amazing one. It has this such a cool resurrection feature that you're like, when you sit there, like, why is this not a thing in every roguelike? Because the problem with roguelike, right, is that if the characters are somewhat customizable, like they have different abilities and different names, things like that, you get attached to them. But because the nature of the roguelike is that you die, then you kind of lose the characters that you like, right? And this game solved that in such a genius way, because it's not like, oh, you get to play with the same characters. No, because that would be kind of cheating, right? Like, that's not the point of roguelike. It just does it in such a cool way. I love it. I feel like every roguelike should have this feature. Yesterday, the world cracked open. 4 Wizard warriors were enjoying a night stew when the earth began to shake. The sky filled with clouds and a huge black mass burst from the mountain above their village. The shade began to spread. Brave warriors choose to examine it more closely. Oh, let's go. He also has very unusual art, as you can see. If you hold the left click button or the right, I guess in this case left arrow, they're gonna run, otherwise they walk. Doesn't really matter. Kinda skips the tutorial because ahead of the warriors, the shade has engulfed everything. The road, the ground, even the sky. Lightning and growls burst out of the strange, opaque fog that faces them. Now skip the tutorial. The terrified warriors consider heading back to the village. But one does not simply walk away from the shade. The evil shade catches up with them and swallows them up. They will all die. They will die even if you go to the tutorial. There's no way you can win this because they want to show you the amazing resurrection feature. That is so good, people. So good. So now I'm going to finally tell you what it is. So, every time a character of yours dies, they become a spirit. To be continued. The warriors never made it back. Something emerged from the shade, eating them alive, spreading panic. Is this the cataclysm the prophecy spoke of? The shade keeps spreading. It is now up to you to take action. You and 3 other wizards have offered to seek a safe path to help the village escape the wilderness. Make haste. The shade quickly catches up with anyone leaving the village. So they become spirits, and there are a couple of things you can do with spirits. First of all, there seems to be an option to just resurrect the spirit in the game. I have not been able to experience that. I assume you have to get to some specific point in the game to do that. But the second thing you can do is you can assign a spirit to your character that you pick. So these spirit people here, they are the people who were in the tutorial, or if your character dies, then these spirits are going to be your former characters. And you can assign them as a spirit to your new character. So if I pick a character that I'm going to play with, I can add this as a spirit, and the spirit gives me certain bonuses based on what the spirit was like, but also it allows when my character dies, the spirit will kill itself, and in the process of that, it will bring my character back to life. So it will sacrifice itself for my character, which is really, really cool. Or you cannot do that. You can keep the spirits and then you can figure out some ways to resurrect them later. Now let's talk about your villagers. So you might be looking at this and looking at, some of them are level 0, some of them are level 1, some of them are level 2. And you might be saying, well, let's go for all the level 2 ones. Not always, because the main thing about the ones with the lower levels is that they don't have the right equipment, but some of them are actually really, really strong. For example, this guy has, it's not him. Wait, who is it? Is it you? Oh, they're random. They're not, no, they're the same, right? No. Okay, I guess, yeah, they're random, so they're not the same as that. So in my test game, I had one guy who was able to do like 15 damage with his, with his stick. So it was a huge amount of damage, even though he was a lower level character. Let me just quickly sort of go through these just to check that no one is, like this guy. He's level 0, but he can already do 7 to 11 with his basic basic attack, which is amazing. So we're gonna name this Tringly after one of my patrons. And currently he just has a really good spear. He doesn't have other equipment, but he can get them pretty easily. Then here you can see the stats. His stats are pretty bad because he's level 0, but it does mean that we can make him whatever we want to make him. And I'm going to give him a spirit I think I will want him eventually. Ooh, actually, that's interesting. He already has a dodge 10%, so we're gonna give him the Spirit of Dungeor, which makes him really good at dodging. So we want to make him a character that's good at this kind of dodge sort of thing, which later on we're gonna see that each character has like 4 areas of interest, which is empathy, brutality, mysticism, and one more, which I forgot, but we'll see it later. And I think dodge is related to empathy, actually, because empathy seems to be related to movement and healing. So we're gonna be able to get a lot of dodge there. Next guy, we want someone who is, oh, so this guy seems to be good for brutality. I think this is like, he can do 8 to 10 attack, and he has a really good strength. So if he has a high strength, that means that he can do a lot of extra damage for physical attacks. So this guy's going to be our big physical guy. He has some spiritual points, which spiritual points don't reactivate after the end of combat. We don't super need that because he doesn't have any spiritual abilities, but we can get them later. So this is going to be Donald. And I want to give him something, gives him extra strength ideally as well. So I guess we'll use a Spirit of Sakazu. And this guy's gonna have a few spirit points, so eventually we want to give him stuff with more spirit points. Next, I need somebody who has... Oh, wait, does this guy have healing? Because healing would be so good. Or, oh, we got somebody. So this guy's all about empathy and urgent care. So this is amazing. And he has a lot of damage. So this guy's just altogether the top boss. So I'm gonna call him after my biggest patron. Name him after my Ruby, because this is like the big boss. So he's a healer, and he gives people dodge, and he has the ability to do a lot of damage. So he's just like he's just good at everything. This is just the man, basically. I'll give him extra magical defense and power. So power give more. I'm actually gonna give him just higher critical damage, I guess, and crit chance. It's not that interesting, but we don't really need him to be better at magic attacks. I would love somebody who can attack in a distance. So it's either this guy who can do... No, so this doesn't do damage in a distance, but this does, right? Yeah, this is 6 to 9 magical damage. This is pretty good. We're gonna focus this guy on being a magical person. So we want to focus on mysticism, power, that sort of thing. So give him extra power, and we'll call him Andre. Andre the mage, Ruby the healer. I'm just gonna name him so that we know who is who. Healer, Donald the Slayer. Donna Slay. We'll just call him Donna Slay. And I don't think we have enough space to edit anything after Trianguli, because also we don't know what Trianguli is going to be just yet, so we're fine with that. So now we're going to start, and we've got our 4 people. Let's see them over here, and we can actually hover over them to see like who is talking and things like that. Let's go. I do wonder who's going to lead the group, because I think maybe it's going to be... I don't know if it's in the order on when we pick the villagers, in which case it should be Trianguli. We can check that out. Yeah, Trianguli is going first. Okay. This is it. You just got out of the village. So here on the bottom, you have time until the shade catches up with you, which is 25 days. So you want to make sure that you... So there's some moves where you want to like hurry to make sure that you don't get hit. We're gonna go to pay a visit to the watchtower. I don't actually know what happens there. In my test game I went for food, which gave us an item that was not particularly interesting, so we're gonna do something else. On your way to the watchtower you spot something on the road. The corpses of 3 lizards are lying there, their faces frozen in terror, the shade no doubt. So we can close their eyes and leave them there, or shake the sadness away and get moving. Let's close their eyes and leave them there. It's not easy, but keeping going is the better option. The whole village to protect, no time to murder them. So Donald gets 30 experience points. So based on this decision, you get positive or negative effects. They're not always all the same. Oh, Rudy is now healing. Oh no, I named him Ruby instead of Rudy. I'm so sorry, Rudy. And I can't change that anymore, right? Oh, that is such a fail. Oh well. So, okay. I guess I'm only naming it after 3 out of my 4 patrons. I guess I'm only naming it after 3 patrons. I'm sorry. I don't want to redo it because this is a really good group of people. Like, getting a healer on the get-go is such a rare thing. I'm like, I'm not going to change that now. So, you know. You want to make sure that everybody's close enough so that they can get the movement. Because typically a lot of these characters have low movement. So everybody's going to roll for initiative. At the beginning, all of our initiatives are kind of low. So we're going to start with the magical attack from Andre. The magical attacks cost me movement and action points. So I can actually get close enough now to attack, even though I would have a regular attack. So we're going to move a little bit closer, but that's about it. Then we get to go with Donald. So Donald is going to use his 15 to 17 attack because it's real strong. And that's all he can do. And now here, I'm just gonna move close with Ruby, I guess. It's such a fail on naming. I misspell things sometimes, or I should say a lot, not just sometimes. So, it's fine. And Ruby here is getting hit a little bit, but that's okay. Now, after every round, they roll initiative again. I'm honestly not a super big fan of that. Not necessarily because it's like a problem in the game. It's just it takes a while. And this game, as you're gonna see, the main, like, the only critique I have of this game so far is that it does things very slowly. Like, the way to get loot, or even just like the rolling of the initiative, is just kind of like, you know, like it could be done faster. And so it's just a little bit like... Oh, I healed myself, he hit me again. I thought so because I didn't have the initiative to go next, but that's okay. Oh, he dodged my attack. That's okay, we'll kill him now. But yeah, this takes a while. Like, why don't you just keep the same initiative? Or at least if you don't want to keep the same initiative, let me hurry it up, right? Like, let me do it faster. Alright, now at the end, we're gonna get XP. It's not entirely clear to me if everybody gets the same XP or the XP is split up, because I think everybody gets the same XP, but the way the animation goes, it looks a little bit like maybe it's split up, but I don't think so. Now, Tranquilly is going to get immediate upgrades. We're going to see how upgrade works. So now we can choose a focus. So because he's level 0, it's everything in the same thing, so we can make him focus on like magical attacks, empathy, which is healing, brutality, which is physical attacks, and irrationality, which is like initiative, and I think maybe also like traps, maybe things like that. I think I want to make him focus on magic because we don't have that many like magical characters. And I'm going to give him more power because if you want to focus on magic, then that seems useful. I'm going to pick between an active and a passive skill, and we'll see what we get. We can only pick one. So we can get 20 to 24 magical damage in a large area around. It costs me all action points, but that's amazing. But it doesn't have a distance. So he has to get close to the enemies and then attack. I think we gotta take that. That's amazing. Like, especially it's on the level 1 character. That is just so good. It's already beating everybody else's damage. Yeah, but you can see, like, you can click to make it faster, but it's still kind of a little bit slow. Now, blood, so this increases somebody's HP, but lowers their accuracy. So I definitely want to equip that on somebody. I'm just not sure yet who. Okay, we'll gotta wait here. I still can't wait for Phil to name it. Oh, well. Okay, let's go to the character. And we're gonna see like who has a very good accuracy. Everybody has 100%, so I'm gonna give it to Donald here because I think we want to, well, because yeah, so Donald has a very good defense, and that means that he's actually lowering the damage taken by 6, so he can be quite sort of strong or protected against a lot of attacks. Now here we can pray, which increases spiritual points. We can rest, which gives healing. Round, which gives us more time before the shade comes. But we're gonna train because that allows me to level up Donald, which I think is really, really cool. So I think we'll do that. And we know that Donald needs to focus on slaying, so we're gonna give him more in brutality and just increases physical damage. We want him to focus all in on physical stuff. So like more brutality, let's go. Yeah, more strength, definitely good. So this, because the strength increases every physical attack. I will also check some passive skills because some of them are really, really good. +1 strength every 2 levels, so he would get +6 strength. or 12 to 15 physical damage and -3 defense for 3 turns. And it costs 3 action points. So potentially I could use the Bloody Fight followed up with Destructive Rock. I think we'll take that. Also, this is great because this is a distance attack, and we don't typically have distance attacks. Actually, I don't know if that was such a good idea, because if we want to use him as our sort of like tank, then the fact that he has a distance attack is not that interesting. There's still a long road ahead and you're already tired. One of your companions starts singing a tune that you're familiar with. Let's just listen. Hearing that tune again brings back memories. Whistling along, you forget about your pain. Everyone is borrowing a bit of your happiness too. Embrace Mage crit chance is raised by 20%. That's good because he's our mage guy. So we're gonna have, we're gonna have quite an interesting setup because rubies are the healer. We're gonna have 2 mages and our only physical guy also has a distance attack. So we could actually make our group like distance based if we really wanted to. But I don't know if that's needed. Okay, so we're at the watchtower. A black and gooey mud with accurate snow drops from the door. Looks like the shade has already claimed the place. Oh, so we can't inspect it anyway. Because we have an inner spirit that prevents me from that. So I guess we'll just flee the tower. That's the only thing I can do. So we ran, we don't know where we are. So we're actually gonna lose 3 days. That's actually really bad. So that might be also an interesting reason to not take a spirit, so it doesn't prevent you from choices. But also, like, if you take the spirits, you have essentially 1 resurrection for everybody, so I think that's gonna top not having choices. Seems better to me. But, of course, up to anybody. Alright, so I think we wanna put Andre the Mage a little bit closer, and also Ruby the healer over here. And these 2, we want them to step closer. I would love it if Donald could go first. Yes. Because he has that huge attack. Oh, no, it's not Donald. It's not Donald that has the destructive attack. It's actually Andra. Why can't I use this? I can. Okay, good. Yeah, look at it. We did 27 damage. Yeah. So now we get... So Trangili is the one who has that. But the problem is if I use that, I'm actually going to hit my own people as well. So I don't want to do it. So instead, I think we're just going to walk up and use our regular attack. And we should be able to drop this person anyway. So we would have to figure out a way to give Trangili high initiative. Or place them in the beginning far away from other people. To make sure that he can actually use... Actually, like if you had a group with Trangili and maybe Andre. So Andre can do distance attack. And then... yeah, that would actually work fine. Like if Andre had a distance attack. And then we would just let Trangili do the big damage. That would work. Great, he's hitting Trangili, who has a really good defense, so we're fine. Sorry, Donald, so we're fine with that. Donald's always gonna rock it. No issues. And I'm happy with letting Andre just attack from a distance. Like, he doesn't need to be up close. And I think we're gonna go with like a rusty short sword on... Like, Donald is just like such a big deal. That's what you get when you cross our way. That's not what he said, but I'm not sure what he said. Right. Yeah, I think Donald is just top notch right now. And I also do like, we haven't used the Andra thing, but I like it. And then we've got our healer. Okay, Flying Dagger. Both of these seem kind of rubbish. I guess the Flying Dagger would be better. I'll check if it is better than any of the other attacks that we have, but I don't think it will be. Because remember, with some of our people we have a lot of strength, so even though the weapon does, for example, 5 to 6 damage, it is then added by the strength, especially on Donald, so it might actually be beneficial to give him something else. So let me look at that. Yeah, no, this would be worse. Yeah, everybody has just a... Okay, oh, wait, okay, so... Okay, so we could switch a Flying Dagger instead of a Rusty Dagger on Andra, and that's about it. Everything else is kind of... It's not useful for us here. The Flight Guard finally gave its last breath, or rather its last war. Take a closer look at the beast, stare at your language flow. Let's take a closer look at the beast. Why do these monsters roam the wilderness? Where do they come from? Examination doesn't bring you much of an answer, but it's quite alright. You like yourself a good mystery. Oh, we all get experience points. That's nice. Ooh, tranquilly leveled up. So we are focusing on mysticism, so let's just go all in on that. And I'll try to give him... Oh, we get crit chance? I don't really care about that. I'll try to get a passive skill related to... Ooh, +3 maximum spiritual points. Yeah, I'll take +3 maximum spiritual points. The dodge on everybody is also interesting. Yeah, the dodge on everybody was also interesting because if you think about it, like for example, Trangeli himself already has a 16% chance to dodge. I think we're gonna have to run because we don't have much time. Also, I don't need to heal, so we're just gonna keep going. Sudden storm forces you to find shelter. After an hour of staring at the rain and thunder, you understand that you're stuck here for now. What about a little game? You can play tag or truth or dare. Let's play truth or dare. The dares become more and more risky, but your pride won't allow you to back off. You end up under a tree waiting for the thunder to strike you. What? So I wonder if Andra's defense is now negative. No, it's a 0. Okay. It actually can go into negative, so that's good for us. But that's not good because defense is a really big deal. Like every time you get attacked, if you lower even by like 1 or 2, that can be really powerful. So okay, so what did we say last time? We said that we need Trangeli to be with Andre because they're both our distance boys. These are just okay. These seems like kind of a weak enemies. So actually, I think I'm gonna keep Trangeli here and I'm gonna move Andre like there or there maybe, and we'll put the healer and Donald together. So who's going first? Andre. Okay, so we're just gonna use an attack on one of these Scortics. The problem is that they do give poison, so I want to be a little bit careful because the damage you take is not much. It's just... Oh, it buried itself. But that doesn't... I don't know if that matters because I think my area attack might do enough damage anyway. This doesn't cost any movement, so I'm going to move here and just use the Mystical Storm. And I think it's going to hit the buried one as well, right? Oh, it doesn't. Okay, but I killed the other one at least. So I guess that's good. Okay. Let's throw a rock at it. Okay, insta-kill. And yeah, Donald, just rocking it, yeah. Just heal yourself. Like, I don't need you to do anything else. Okay. I don't know if I can attack the thingy if it's not... Yeah, I can't. Well, I can't even get there, but I don't know if I'm going to be able to attack it. Yeah, I can't do anything until it comes up, so... I guess I'm just gonna get close. Not the face, not the face! I was hitting the face, man. And I can't really drop it with Trangeli. It has to be Donald or somebody stronger. Or actually, I think Andre... No, I used up my movement. I shouldn't have done that. Okay. I can't attack with anybody else, though. Because I don't have the distance attack on anybody else. But the only one who can actually do anything is Trangeli, because he's the only one who's up close. I will move him out of the way, though. Oh, I was worried it's going to bury itself again, because then he can't do anything. But... Okay, we'll let Andre have the kill. I don't think it matters who gets the kill, like, whatever. We could have potentially waited a turn and let Ruby heal him, but whatever. I have faith in myself. Yeah, I can't click to speed this up. It just kind of like happens, whatever. Okay, we get a lot of level up, so that's good. So Ruby, we're gonna give him more empathy. And I think we're gonna give him more HP. And I think I'm gonna look at one active and one passive skill. Allies gain +3 action points for 1 turn, but it cost me 6. Ooh, this is better. I can heal myself every time I heal somebody. That seems amazing. There's also an interesting ability where you can hurt yourself to heal somebody. So this is even better. Okay, so with Andre the Mage, we have both rationality and mysticism. I'm gonna focus on the mysticism because I do like his ranged attack. And we're gonna give him more power. And let's check out 2 passives. Just generally more dodge. Let's give 1 extra spiritual points to all party members. I think that's cool. Now, one thing to keep in mind is that they do take up a slot. So eventually you will run out of all the sort of options. So you want to make sure that you pick like good stuff. 2 to 4. Those who survive it remember it for a long time. So this gives poison. I don't know. That's worth it. That's a very low attack by itself. And I don't think the poison is dependent on like the physical damage. Right? Yeah, it's just a fixed poison, so it's just not good. For what we need, it's just not good. I don't really need to recharge many of my spiritual points. The only one who's really using them is Donald. I guess I'll heal this time. I'm not sure if I need it, but whatever. I do want to get to the boss fight, guys. It's gonna be a longer video, but okay, let's keep running. You cross paths with some wanderers and recognize the clothing and weapons. They're scouts from Lanu's caravan. They offer to help guidance in the long road that still awaits you. Yeah, let's travel with them for a bit. Your travel becomes lively and entertaining considering everything that you discuss with the wanderers. You've traveled so much and learned so many things. We all get 15 experience points. Nice. And 1 more event before the big boss fight. When you're walking together, the wanderers start asking questions about the shade. They too have been monitoring with progress. What do you know about it? We'll talk about the prophecy. The wanderers listen to every word, only nodding every once in a while. They do not know about the prophecy and ask plenty of questions about it. You're overjoyed to find someone interested in the knowledge of your village. Ooh, everybody gets plus initiative. That's nice. So let's see what the big boss looks like. You've gotten in the loot all the time weapons, which is actually not good because there's a lot of equipment that we could just attach to ourselves that we have space for. But we can't use it because, well, you're not just going to substitute to a worse weapon. Ooh, it's a lot of enemies. 100 HP on the big boss. So I think we definitely want to get Trangili up in the middle. And this is sort of some sort of like a warrior that has helped. So these are the 2 guys that are kind of like around. Or these 3, I should say. I don't think Ruby the healer needs to... Actually, you know what? Let's put Trangili here. And we're gonna try to get to attack these 2. And we'll put Ruby next to Andre. And we'll leave Donald there on the other side. We'll see who goes first. Okay, so the enemies have... Well, actually we all have not the greatest initiative, so we'll see. Ooh, Andre goes first. Let's use a ranged attack. And just move 1 step closer. And return here. He's mad, which I think increases the strength of everybody. Okay, somebody's going straight up at the big boss. Okay, a Donald. I think I'm gonna start slaying some of the smaller guys. Do 13 to 16 twice. And it gives him bleeding. Just so we can sort of not get attacked by that many people at once. And I will try to push away from the big guy in the middle. I could heal this person, so let's do it. And I think I'll move towards the big boss just so I can get attacked for next turn potentially. Now Trangili needs to move in the middle and use its mystical storm. And we're gonna hit them both. Great. Yeah, they're all increasing their strength, so we definitely need to make sure that we like take kill some of them so they don't get that many attacked with the high strength. Yeah, that guy just died from like bleeding or something. I'm not sure why. Oh yeah, because the ability on Donald actually gives healing. Okay, they're killing this person who is not actually mine, but it's just a wanderer is walking with me. But I would like to try to sort of stop them from being dead. So Donald's gonna have to go and help. And also Donald's gonna probably take some hits, but Donald has a pretty good defense. I'm not too worried about it. We'll start with Andres. I could do another 13 to 16, or I can walk up to them and do 12 to 16. I think I'll actually do it. I think I'll just do an attack from up close. Okay, this guy's dead. And we'll use a ranged attack on the big boss as well. That worked out pretty well. Oh, got smacked. Unsettling emanation. I don't know what that does, but that sounds pretty cool. You can click, by the way, on the portrait and then see like what happened to them. They had a lower dodge chance. Okay. So whose turn is it? It's Ruby, sorry. And I can't get close enough, so I'll just like move closer. Oh, Donald can't get close enough either. So let's just move closer and we'll try to distance rock at... I think we'll use it at the smaller one. Again, just so we can just start dropping people. Okay. Trangili, what about you? Let's just kill the Flayhound that's next to you. There's one more here, but we can't handle that right now. Ooh. So you made this guy burn a lot. So our people haven't been hit that badly. The only one who's really hurt is Trangili, but I think that's fine. And we'll start with Andre again. Do you want to walk up? I think I'll walk up and I'll use both of my physical attacks. We have 80% chance though, so he has a good chance of dodging. I can't use urgent care yet, so I'm just gonna have to go and use a physical attack as well. Ooh, Donald dodged it all. I actually don't know if the big guy has area attacks, so in that sense it might not be the best to be immediately adjacent to him, but... Trangili's only option is just keep hitting this guy. Like, nobody's gonna help him. I mean, there's a range attacker sort of helping, but like... How is Donald killing these people without even... Does Donald has like bleeding? Oh, he gains strength every time he takes damage. I didn't realize that. So that's great. So Donald now has like insane strength because he took damage. So it's like, hey. I can do 13 to 16 twice and give bleeding. Well, actually it gives bleeding to us both. So I give myself bleeding too. But again, I can just heal him with Ruby. Or unless I'm healing Trangili. Okay, Trangili doesn't need healing anymore because Trangili is not gonna get hurt anymore. So I think we'll just... I mean, with Andre we just go for attack, so that's all. I'll take a step back. And I'm gonna move closer with Trangili. I just want to make sure that I'm in range of Ruby's attack. If I can. Yeah, Donald. This time Donald will just use regular attack because I want to make sure that... Okay, we already won. Okay. Should have probably waited and healed myself, but whatever. Ooh, we unlocked an achievement. Or whatever this is. Actually, it's not an achievement. It's an ability that you unlock in to give us a level up to your characters and also any future characters like in the next round. Oh, hit rock bottom. I don't know what that does, but sounds pretty fun. Yeah, like this is taking too long. Like it's on one hand it's exciting that you get these abilities, but also like I don't want to spend an hour clicking this. Like just show them to me all at once. Or just let me click left and right arrow to move through this. Yeah, and we got a bunch of achievements as well. And I think we're gonna get a bunch of level ups. Yeah. Alright, so Trangili, our mysticism guy. Let's keep giving him mysticism. I think we want... I guess I'll take magical defense, so we're better against getting hit. And we're gonna try to pick one passive, one active, and we'll pick one. Gain plus 12 power to all party members for the first turn. Well, that's good for Trangili and Andre, but that's it. -6 any action points and -3 movement points and 50% Justin. So this is actually interesting because this is essentially stun. This is basically stun. It's called a little bit different, but it's basically stun. If they have spiritual points, they can still use them, but for a majority of their abilities, this works like stun. So I think I'll take that because it's like it's a really cool thing to do, in my opinion. I love stuns, so. I do wonder if there's like some kind of a negative effect to have being like full on brutality, for example, with the character. Because I don't see that. We're gonna try to take some passive because we have a lot of active. +3 strength to all adjacent allies. Gain +4 strength for the duration of combat when you consume spirituality points. I guess I'll take the strength to adjacent allies. I don't know how much I'm gonna use them. This is actually not a good ability for us. Maybe we should have rerolled. I think we should have paid spiritual points to reroll because neither one of those are particularly good. I'm gonna take more defense on our healer. Let's check out some passives. Recover 6 HP at the beginning of their turn. I like that. This is gonna be auto healing for Ruby. So now I feel like we should make Ruby the tank. I'm gonna take a step in. Well, now let's keep focusing on mysticism. I'll take more power. And I want some more magical attacks. Mystical Storm, so we get the same thing as Trangili. Yeah, I think that's gotta be the way to go. Because with our power, we can just increase the attack significantly with this. So it feels too good to pass on. So was the 20 to 24 already with my thing? I think it was. Ooh, outdated gun. Lowers initiative, but it does a lot of damage. And I think it's considered physical, so that on Donald, I think would be kind of insane. It's also really funny because it's a ranged attack on Donald who has the rock. So now Donald can just like attack from a distance. We wanted him to be the tank, but we might actually choose to switch from Donald being the tank, because if I give this to Donald, yeah, it's just better for Donald. And then I can make Ruby the healer. I'll give him these nuggets. I can make him the tank. So essentially we do want to work on his defense a little bit. So for that we would want to take some brutality. But generally, because he heals himself and he heals himself every time he heals somebody else, you'd want to use him to move in front of everybody else and ironically have our healer also be the tank. So I mean imagining him kind of like a paladin, because paladins are usually tanky, but they can also heal sometimes. So I feel like that would kind of make sense. It's going to be such a long episode, but I really can't stop playing this kind of I'm trying to. Finally, the Molten has rolled its last. You would never have believed you'd managed to bring it down. Let's cut its horn. Carefully boil the horn before hollowing it out. Despite the awful smell, you can't help but smile to your craft. Okay, so what does this do? A big so it gives plus. Okay, so this is perfect for our new tanky tank. Come on, let's take it. Ruby now has 7 defense, so he's gonna block any attack by 7. And on top of that, he can heal himself every turn. So essentially 13 damage every turn. Was it every turn, right? Or was it every combat? Maybe every turn is too much, right? No, so he heals for 13 every turn. Like, what is there to think about? I think this time we'll pray just to give Donald the spirituality points. I think this is just so good, guys. Having a healer who is a tank, I think is just fantastic. Donald is gonna start attacking from a distance because he can rock it. Donald can work everything though. Donald is just so we're switching Donald from being the tank to kind of being the rogue, because rogues always have really strong damage but from a distance. And then Ruby is now our healer slash tank. And then our magic people are basically just step in the middle of the group of our enemies and just blow stuff up. That's all. They're like doing insane area damage. So, okay, we're gonna a little bit longer, guys, and then we'll stop. I promise we'll stop this game soon. It's just too good. You're following a path near the foot of the mountain and come in by a river which soon parts ways with you to the rocks. Ooh, and now I can do everything. Let's follow the screams, because we do have empathy on our people. I'm gonna do one combat here just to see how much tougher this new combat is. Seriously injured Wazard with black scales lies on the ground. The clothes are most peculiar. Right now you're more concerned with what happened to them. So I can only go after the culprit or walk away. So let's go after the culprit. They follow a trail of beacon claws on the rocks. At the end, raven claws are sleeping on the ground. They seem to have enjoyed their last hunt. Well, they won't for long. So increase the initiative for Ruby. This is so cool. This is such a good group, guys. Like, I love that our healer is our tank, which is kind of ironic. Our tank is now a rogue, like super strong damage dealer, and then our wizards are just like the wizards are just let's walk in the middle of the room and just blow stuff up. It's so good. Yeah, I guess we'll stick to this. Whatever. What are the enemies good at? Can I see? Get too close, they will feed on your thoughts, then turn them into their own hypnotic tribes. If you get too far away, they'll fly and pursue. Okay. Mystical Storm would do 30 to 34. That's still better than... Oh, that hit our own people too. Okay, then I'll just attack like this. So we actually should have done the Mystical Storms, but I thought that we were gonna... Does anybody need healing of our people? Trianguli could use some healing. Let's heal Trianguli. And... I could walk towards the enemy. Wait, I should... Oh, the action point... Okay, so that's actually interesting. We might want to take the club away from Ruby, because Ruby could otherwise... both heal and do something, and because of how because of the fact no, I thought I was clicking on the mental on the other thing. Oh well. That's such a fail. I thought what I was clicking on was because with the other guy the second ability was the distance attack and the third was the storm, so I thought I was clicking on that, but I was actually clicking on something else. Oh well, whatever. So now everybody's hurt. That's not great. Okay, so we're gonna start with a gun. Yeah, I think it might be better if we just go up close and just use 2 bloody fights. Because that, if I had hit, that would allow me to. Oh, these guys are dodging everything. Okay. Having a hard time in this part. Mostly because of my messed up click. Okay, well, now we want to use the spiritual magic attack. And then a regular attack. Okay, that thing is dead. That'll take stuff away. Now, mental destruction will essentially stun this thing, so we'll do that. Move towards, can't hit it anymore, but at least do something. Okay, and we're gonna start hitting with the guy. Yeah, so we definitely want to take away this thing on Rudy. That's actually not good. Even though it does a lot of damage, we would much rather have something that only takes 3 attacks so that we could like heal and do other things. I think I might take the distance rock, move, and then use a bloody fight. So also another thing with Donald is the gun is cool, but the gun costs 4, so I can't do anything else. So it might be again better to just use something that uses like 3. So that we could use another ability or use it twice. I'm gonna move away with Ruby because I will give him healing next turn. Oh, I can't shoot here. Seriously? Okay. I think my people are in the way for shooting. Okay, let's walk here. And we'll use a flying dagger. Twice. Okay, it hits me, that's fine. But that means... So I can kill it, but I don't want to. We're gonna let Rudy the healer heal somebody. We'll heal Andre and himself. So we'll take a step closer and then we'll heal Andre. And then we'll let Trangili finish it off. Good. So we have a little bit. Yeah, it wasn't the best, but that's okay. We definitely want to switch around the weapons a little bit. Because like I said, it's not the most optimal for Donald. Ooh, this is interesting. So this costs 5 action points, but it does a lot of damage. Let me actually check that and compare that to some of the other people. Because we gotta remember some of these you can use twice. So even if it's weaker, if you can do it twice, that's actually better. So let's just look at that. Let's go here. Yeah, so what we have currently 7 to 11 that cost 5. I have 5 to 7 that cost 3, so that's actually better. Or I could just give him this croaking gun. This is Trangili. Let's actually first... Now let's first focus on Donald. So Donald has this 16 to 20 for 4, and then his abilities cost 3. So he would want something with 3. 5 to 7 twice is gonna be less. So he doesn't get anything good for 3. So I will give him this croaking gun. And then Ruby, he is healing for 1. So he just needs something that costs like 5. So I could give him 8 to 10 for 5. Or 16 to 20 for 4. So let's grab that. So now he can heal and use the outdated gun. Again, we didn't super need him to have like a ranged attack, but it's the only thing that does like a lot of damage, so. I could give him 8 to 10, which isn't the greatest, but it just costs 5. And I think Trangili is the one who can only use one of his thing at the time anyway. So I will give him the thing that costs 6. This club. Because he can only use one of his abilities anyway. But I actually think that this is a good time to end the episode. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, write down in the comments. And you can click on the right to watch some other game that we put on this channel. See you there. Bye bye.